I spent decades worshiping one very dangerous lie, that I had time. Time to save, time to rest, time to get my act together. I was devout. My religion was Church of Nope, someday congregation. And if there's anything that this midlife reinvention has taught me, it's that this lie ages terribly. It's never too late to reclaim your power, but you do have to stop pretending that you've got unlimited time to do it. So here's the problem with believing that you have time. Everything becomes something that you'll deal with eventually, right? I'll deal with that later. I'll feel that feeling later. I'll try again next year. These little promises pile up fast. Later, not today, next year when things calm down. Before you know it, your whole damn life is on the later layaway plan, and it charges interest. Raise your hand if you're living in a storage unit that's labeled someday. Hey, I'm Sheila. I am not a coach. I'm not a guru. I'm just a woman in her prime. The real one, not the marketing version. The one that you earn by outliving a lot of nonsense. At this point, I qualify for veterans benefits in bullshit. I have lived this one the long way so that you can steal my shortcut. Just take the map, Becky, and stop pretending that you like the scenic route. For a long time, the waiting had become the life. I thought I was procrastinating, but procrastinating implies that you're eventually going to do the thing. I wasn't planning anything. I was just vibing, with my buddy Avoidance in our little pillow fort. Later, it became my lifestyle, my emotional support strategy. It was basically the adult version of shrugging and hoping that life would work itself out. Not helpful, but familiar. Kind of like that one bra that has seniority. Time doesn't warn you. It does Irish goodbyes and leaves you there blinking slowly like, oh, you were doing this without me? Let me tell you something that I wish that I would have learned earlier. Time doesn't tap you on the shoulder when it's running out. It does that low battery chirp thing that your smoke alarm does. The one that you train yourself to ignore because you don't have a ladder that's high enough and you're out of batteries anyway. So if it won't announce itself, what exactly am I waiting on? Permission or proof? I thought I was being strategic, which is hilarious in hindsight because none of my strategies survived reality. I kept telling myself that I'd do the thing when I felt more healed. I would try this other thing once I lost weight. I would start that thing over there when life finally calmed down. None of it happened. I was scheduling my future the way people schedule dentist appointments that they plan to cancel. My favorite excuse was that I'm not ready, right? Why would I waste time doing something that I clearly wasn't ready to do, right? I like to call this deferred living. I know that sounds so organized, doesn't it? Yeah, no. It was just really me hiding behind future plans that I had zero intention of following. Kind of like bubble wrapping your life. I wasn't waiting for the right time. I was waiting for the right version of me, the one that had her shit together. To this day, I haven't met her. She's a myth, like Bigfoot. Although in the winter, I do get Bigfoot adjacent. If you know, you know. It is amazing how much life you can dodge when you keep labeling it preparation. Preparation was my favorite disguise for hiding in plain sight. I thought pushing things into the future made me responsible. I told myself the future version of me would handle everything that I was avoiding, as if she was some fully charged superhero with an actual plan. Here's the thing. I wasn't planning. I was stalling with a really weird sense of confidence. And the worst part is how reasonable it all sounded. I kept playing this little waiting game because I was scared that if I tried to do anything right then, it would confirm every suspicion that I had about myself. I wasn't avoiding the task, I was avoiding the verdict. The present required courage that I didn't have. The future just felt safer because it was hypothetical. I could be very brave in theory. I'm heroic in hypotheticals. I just didn't want to have to prove it. The truth is, later was easier to carry than now, right? Later folds up and fits in your pocket all nice. Now shows up with boxes and packing tape. Now felt dangerous. Now asked me to choose. Later let me pretend that I wasn't choosing anything at all. It was easier to believe that I had time than to admit that I was scared to use the time that I already had. Now drop it in the comments. What is the thing that you've been calling you're not ready for that's really just not yet? Name it. I read every single one. We were raised on bumper sticker slogans that confuse endurance with wisdom. You can sleep when you're dead. Good things come to those who wait. Be patient. Your turn is coming. Every one of them was basically a lullaby for adults that promoted the idea that there would always be more time. Waiting was a strategy, not a stalling technique. Now I'm 55 and I can see what that lie actually did to me. It made me treat my own priorities like they were optional. It made me act like I could keep postponing myself without any consequences. So, when you catch yourself doing this, stop. Ask yourself the hard question. Why are you waiting? What are you waiting for? You're acting like you have unlimited time. Why are you really putting it off? Be honest. Now, if it's bills, kids, caregiving, no sick leave, or stuff like that, well, that's a constraint. Name it and plan around it. If you're saying to yourself, oh, I just don't feel ready, or maybe we'll do it after the holidays, or let me read one more book, or I need to have better timing, that's a cover. Call it what it is. Put a price tag on the delay. What will waiting cost you? Time does not slow down because you're tired. It does not pause because you're rebuilding your finances. It does not wait for you to feel confident, healed, or emotionally steady. Time moves, and it does not ask you whether you feel caught up. At some point, someday turns into inventory, right? You have done, not done, or still on a layaway plan with later. If you keep pushing things out, one day you'll wake up and be absolutely shocked that your life kept moving and the one that you thought you wanted was actually 3 exits ago and you never bothered to slow down. Now, you can't chase that version down, but you can stop pretending that you're still on the way there. The older I get, the more I understand that nothing starts when life gets easier. It starts when you stop treating your own life like it can wait for a better season, right? Now, you don't have to rush. You don't have to panic. You don't have to overhaul everything. You just have to stop assuming that later is loyal and move one small thing from someday into this week. Time isn't your enemy. The lie that you have plenty of it is. Time isn't flexible, but you are. The most dangerous lie that I believed wasn't that I would fail. It was that I had time. I kept assuming that I had time to get brave, time to get ready, time to finally turn into the version of myself that I kept imagining. I thought time was something that I could stretch, delay, bargain with, or casually reschedule. But time never stopped. It never paused so I could catch up. By the time I stopped assuming that I had later, I realized most of what I wanted was not waiting for the perfect version of me. It was waiting for the real one to show up. The truth is not profound. Time isn't cruel. It's actually indifferent. Your life doesn't change when you feel prepared. It changes when you stop treating the things that matter like they will sit on the back burner indefinitely and still be waiting for you when you finally wander back. Now, if the chirp is back, find a ladder or change the room, but stop pretending that you can ignore it. Once you stop pretending you have unlimited time, it forces you to look at the other bad habits that nobody warns you about. Most of all, fake hope. The kind that you repeat to yourself because the truth feels rude. That's the next part. And yeah, you may not like it, but you need it.